okay. I just want to let you guys know, this is not an apology or exposure video. I really wanted to say this in great depth and in great length because, well, I haven't done a video on this, so, and since Hetalia World Stars has come out, and since Hetalia World Stars has come out, I might as well, I know I'm kind of late to the bandwagon, but I might as well share this story of when I was in late elementary school up to middle school, like mid 7th grade. I was a young 12-year-old who basically didn't know anything. So, here we go. Here's my Hetalia story. Alright, it all started when I was 11 years old, watching the show. I picked it up from my sister. Do not want to blame her for anything in this video that may have caused harm to anyone. I'm putting the blame squarely on myself here. So, my sister introduced me to Hetalia. I was in 6th grade at the time. I became fascinated with Germany, the character Ludwig, and so much that I started to do some lineage. I found out that I was part Austrian and part German, and then I came to the realization Adolf Hitler was Austrian and German. So that led me to the horrifying conclusion, well, not horrifying at the time, but like horrifying nowadays. It led me to the conclusion that I was related to him. Only here's the tiniest 3 problems. I am autistic, mentally handicapped. Later I would find out I'm bisexual. And the most important thing, I'm freaking Jewish. Now, I know this sounds a bit far-fetched, but I was, like, telling everybody in my school that I was related to Hitler. And they believed me. They actually legitimately believed me. So, I was telling everybody, and they either would mock me for it, like, you know, give me the Nazi salute and everything, or, on the other side of the spectrum, they would completely run away from me and or ignore me. And on top of that, I was telling all of my friends, and I didn't know they were teasing me for it. I thought they were giving me an act of honor. And you know what's funny? I listen to the producer's soundtrack every single day. You know, the one with Springtime for Hitler and all that stuff. Not realizing that it was a freaking satire. And need I mention I was 12 years old at the time I started this thing. So what did I do after I went home from school on the day of September 11, 2012? I told my parents about what happened on the bus, on the school bus. I was on the regular school bus with a bunch of neurotypical kids, and I was telling everybody, I was trying to boss everybody around because I didn't know what I was doing at the time. I just wanted to be a tame, popified version of a Nazi. That was a horrible idea. But the worst part was I ended up directly quoting Hetalia's first episode. I said, if you have any questions, and then I said the quote, raise your hand, but do so in a way that does not mock any salutes of my country's past. And then they started sig-heiling me, and I actually felt proud. Yeah, it sounds outlandish and weird, but this is actually what happened. Ask any of my middle school friends, they'll tell you the same. If they remember it, that is. So I made the horrible mistake of telling my parents about what happened that day. And, they ended up reporting it to the police and the principal and my parents personally took it against me to, like, I'm not trying to blame my parents or anything, but they took away my iPod and for 6 weeks. 6 friggin' weeks. And on top of that, they banned anything relating to Hetalia from the household. And I'm fine with that now, but, you know, as a 22-year-old, I'm fine with that. But as a 12-year-old, 10 years ago, I was devastated. But that may have been because I was a little kid who didn't know what she was doing. So that instance of my life has made a little bit of a resurgence in a few years from then, like 2016, 2018, even to 2020. And my brain hadn't fully developed. And I'm not saying my brain is fully developed now. I'm just saying that my brain hadn't fully developed those past years. So what I'm trying to say is that I'm trying to, like, you know, share a story that happened in my childhood to get it off my chest to the internet. And I know some people are probably going to use, like, mean comments about me because I was, like, a kid and everything like that. But no. People change, you know. I've been welcomed back into the Jewish community. Well, that was after joining a cult, but we'll get into that. I was welcomed back into the Jewish community a year ago or so. Not because of that, but we don't talk about that. The thing is, I'm sorry, I'm just getting my words all jumbled up right now, but this is so difficult for me to talk about because it's so in the back of my mind and at the front of my mind at the same time. It stands out like a sore thumb, and I can't really shake that experience off. Just the fact of a person of Jewish lineage switching over to be a not even a neo-Nazi, just a flat-out Nazi, and just completely flipping over the concept of genocide and terrorism. And granted, I didn't kill anybody, but I kind of wanted to. But that was back when I was 12. People change, you know. What I'm trying to say is that I'm just trying to get this story off my chest because it's been haunting me for the past 10 years. And since World Stars has come out, I've been wanting to do this video for months. Months, I mean, on end, you know? Oh man, I cannot deal with all this in my head at the same time. But I'm filming this because you already know why I'm filming this. But the thing is, I'm just talking absolute shit right now. But oh my goodness, I'm basically stalling. But you know, it was a thing of the past, and we all learn from our mistakes. That's the most important thing in this world that we can count our blessings on. You learn from your mistakes of your past. You don't follow in the footsteps of your so-called relatives, because later on in my life I would finally discover that I'm not actually related to Adolf Hitler, thank God. But I was such a fool for thinking that as a kid, a 12-year-old, and it kind of resurged in the coming years. So what I'm trying to say is that it'll never happen again. I've learned from my mistakes. This kind of situation will never happen to me. Hopefully it'll never happen to this city that I live in. Hopefully it'll never happen to that country that I live in. Hopefully it'll never happen to the world. You know, one can only hope. And with that note, I'm out. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.